all the Marvel fans, comic book geeks, and all the nerds in between. I am Megan from the Vigilante Vibes podcast, and today I'm going to give you my Kraven the Hunter review. I just got back from the movie theater. It is 12:40 at night. I'm so tired. So I have made this review video like 2 times, too. And I can't stop rambling because it all just keeps coming back to me because I just saw the movie. So it all just like, and the other ones just weren't very coherent. So I'm going to give you like a pros and a cons of the movie. Going to make it quick because I'm going to actually have a whole episode dedicated to the movie so we can get more into detail. But since the movie just came out, I'd love to tell you guys how I felt about the movie. We all saw the first 8 minutes of the movie where he is in Russia and he is breaking out of prison after he kills someone. Well, I mean, that kind of had to do with the movie. It had more to do with the movie than I thought it would. I thought they were just showing us the first 8 minutes because it gave nothing. But it kind of did. So most of the movie is an origin story for Kraven, you know, as it should be, because we haven't been introduced to Kraven. But after the first 8 minutes, it's in Russia. It starts with like 10 years earlier, and it shows us as him as a child. It shows us his dynamic with his brother and his dad, and it shows us that his dad, how heartless he is, especially about when his mother kills herself and he says she's weak. She was weak in the head. Don't be like her. And it's like, calm down, Russell Crowe, calm down. But what can you do? So his dad's idea to make his kids not weak was to take them on a hunting trip to go kill some things, kill animals. And he kills the animals, but there is one animal in particular that he really wants to kill, and they call it a beast. It is a lion, and apparently this lion has killed several thousand people or several hundred. I don't remember. I'm so tired. A lot of people. So he says he has to kill the beast because that's how legends are made, is them taking over for killing another legend. Dude, I don't know. His dad said some stupid shit. So they're looking for this beast, and Kraven and his brother Dimitri are kind of trailing behind him, and the lion just comes up, and Kraven has the gun, and he's like, I'm going to shoot it. And then he gets lost in the lion's eyes, and the lion attacks, takes his almost lifeless body and just kind of leaves with it while everyone else is just there, I guess. But he takes his body away. It cuts to a scene with Calypso, who, if you've read the comics, you know she is a comic character. She is Kraven's girl. So Calypso is sitting with her grandmother, who is teaching her how to do the tarot cards, how to make toxin. No, she's not teaching her how to make toxins. She's reading the tarot cards. She's teaching her how to, and she says, your tarot card said something's going to happen soon, so I need you to take this toxin with you. Doesn't tell her what it is, just tells her to take it because she's going to need it because something's going to go down. Little did she know, like 10 minutes later, something was going to go down. In the comics, Calypso is very skilled in Haitian voodoo. And that is confirmed in the movie that is true to her character in the Sonyverse because her grandmother does confirm it. And her parents do not like it, so she hides it from them, which I don't know why they made such a point of saying that a couple times. It had nothing to do with the movie. Her parents had nothing to do with the movie, but what can you do? So she gives them the toxin. Keep this toxin in mind because it's a big deal. She's in a Jeep with her parents because her parents are there taking pictures of like giraffes and wildlife, and it's just so beautiful. And she just gets up and leaves. Just leaves. She didn't say like, oh, I see a lion. I see a boy in trouble. I feel something. She just leaves. And then just so happens upon a lion with a boy's body. She like has this weird stare down with the lion, and the lion just leaves. But before the lion leaves, we see the lion's blood drop into Kraven's open wounds. It's just such a coincidence. And he's dying, and she's like, "What do I do?" And she gives him the toxin, and puts one of the tarot cards that has a lion in it in his jacket. And then he's taken to a hospital. While he's there, he dies for like 3 minutes. He comes back. And when he's coming to, his dad comes in and the first thing he says was, "Why didn't you shoot it?" Not, "I'm so glad you're okay." I love you. Nothing. It was, "Why didn't you shoot it?" Which further proves that he's trash. Um, he tells the doctors he's coming home with me, and they're like, "He was dead. He needs to chill." And they're like, "No, he's coming home with me." So they get back to the mansion he lives in, and his brother, Dimitri, if you're familiar with the comics, you know who he is. I will get to that. His brother, Dimitri, is like, "Dad wants you to come downstairs and talk to him." And he's like, "Okay." So he goes down, and his dad's like, "You didn't shoot it today. You it could have killed you. It could have killed your brother. You have to be a man. Someday all this is going to be yours. The fear is what will kill you. The fear is when people start to win." Just all this wild stuff. And finally, he ends it with, "I took the fear from you today." And he goes into the other room and shows him the lion's head, the same lion that like killed him, which is a wild thing to think. Cause like, how fast did you have to kill that thing and then get it mounted while your son like was either dead or in the hospital? Like, that was a lot of stuff you were doing when your son was there. But who am I to judge? Apparently. Um. So Craven, this pisses Craven off because after Craven came back from the dead, he says that he was very changed. Something felt different. Something was not right. And he yells at his dad, "The lion should have killed you." And his dad pushes him. And then Craven's like, "F this, I'm out." Goes to get all the stuff, dips. Dimitri's pissed he left. He's like, "Don't leave me with dad." Which it's like, come on, man. You got to let the butterfly spread its wings, I guess. So it shows him going into it. Well, it shows him going on a boat and traveling, going all over the world to where his mom had some land, and he said he felt close to her there, which is like, okay, okay. So he does that, and then we see him get acclimated to living amongst nature, and we see him start to become Kraven the Hunter, because there are poachers there who are stealing horns from animals and just killing them for it. And he sees that his first day there, and then that's when he first kills. He kills two men who are doing it, which, to be fair, they have guns on them. So, I mean, self defense. But that pattern continues because people still keep going to go kill animals for their horns and all that because people suck. And Craven is no stranger to killing these men. He kills four of them in one truck, and the other two get away, and then he hunts them down and kills them. And all he needed was their license plate, which like isn't hard if you have the internet. But I don't know if he has the internet. So it doesn't tell you that. But he does reconnect with Calypso. He takes the one tarot card that he got so long ago and somehow found out it was hers. Does not give any information how he did. Even Calypso's like, "How did you even do that?" And he's like, "Hunting's kind of my thing." It's like, you're coming off douchey and stalkery, but whatever. The villains of the movie are Rhino, which we all know, Foreigner, which is a comic character, and his dad. It's like, of course. It felt a little off balance, a lot of off balanced with three villains. Foreigner just kind of didn't. Foreigner felt like he was used as a cheap way to fix some bad writing, which it didn't. Rhino, why was Rhino even there? Rhino was there because he had gotten together with a Dr. Miles Warren. If you read the comics, you know that Dr. Miles Warren is the Jackal. So that was interesting. Interesting reference there. So he got medicine from him, a serum, and it gave him powers, but it kept him in check. I don't fucking know. So I mentioned Dimitri earlier. Dimitri is Kraven's brother, half brother, I guess. In the comics, he's his half brother. I don't I don't remember if they said it in the movie if he was or not. If he did, please let me know in the comments. Not that it's that big of a deal. It's such a small thing. Um, so his brother, if you are aware of his brother from the comics, half brother from the comics, you know that he is Chameleon. Well, he spends the entire movie doing impressions of everyone, so it's like, okay, we get it. It was funny how they did it. He does impressions of his dad, of Kraven, of even Harry Styles, which is odd, but it worked for the scene. I have to be honest, I could not stand the actor they got to play Dimitri. I don't know why. Oh, he annoyed me so much. Oh, he just annoyed me. Just whatever. They could have picked someone better for his brother. Dimitri also got in touch with Dr. Miles Warren to also get powers. So at the end, we are gifted with a comic accurate look of Chameleon, like the white face, all that. That was kind of cool. I did like seeing that. Um, there was a few comic things here that comic references here that I kind of enjoyed. But there was also some just weird things. The one thing I did like about the movie was that it didn't lean too heavily into referencing Spider-Man, which Madam Web did, Morbius did. There was only a couple things like we saw the Daily Bugle, like Calypso had it in her hand and the Foreigner had it in his hand. There was one really weird moment that felt so stupid and forced. It The Foreigner shoots Kraven with a poison dart that shows him his worst fear. Turns out his worst fear is spiders. Kraven the Hunter, which was obviously a reference to Spider-Man. It's just so stupid and weird. Like you didn't have to do that. You could have showed like his brother dying or something. Whatever. It was interesting. They kind of left it oddly open-ended, which is like we've all seen the news that Sony's most likely done with the Sonyverse with the Marvel characters, which thank God. Thank you. But it was very odd because the final shot was with him wearing the comic accurate suit. His dad left him was the lion's head that he made into a jacket for him, and he's sitting on the chair with his elbow and hand under his chin. It was like the comic look of Craven. And that's it. There's no uh, post credit scene. There's nothing like that. There was a lot about it, and there was a lot I liked about it, but there was also a lot of stuff I was just like, why? Why would you do that? Um, like his dad gets killed by a bear, not by any of the many villains. His two bitter sons, just a bear. It was very odd, very strange throughout it. The dad's whole character felt, I wouldn't say it felt forced, but it certainly felt like they used it way too much to explain Craven. It felt more like a family squabble kind of movie than a Craven movie. The pros of it, I will say it was entertaining. It was fun to watch. It There were times I found myself laughing that I shouldn't have been laughing at. Like when Craven first goes into the woods when he's a teenager, because he is now Craven the Hunter. It looked like Twilight. He was like soaring through the trees. Um, climbing up the trees just like Edward Cullen. I was laughing so hard. It was so weird, but oh God, it was a choice. Another positive thing I will say is that Aaron Taylor Johnson said like a year ago that the movie had made Craven into an animal lover, which I think everyone took that as a vegan, animal rights thing. I don't know. But it was more like he respects them, he respects animals, and he is the hunter, but he hunts who deserves to be hunted. And he sees that most animals do not deserve to be hunted. So I thought that was used pretty well. The cons, oh God. The cons were that it was so goofy. It was trying so hard to be serious, but it was so goofy. You'll laugh if you watch it, I promise. Um I Another con is I hate that they're using Spider-Man villains and making them into heroes. Hate that. It's like why? Just stop. Like it none of them make sense. Like Venom is an anti-hero. What are you doing? Another con was that there wasn't much dialogue at all. At least to me, it felt like there wasn't enough. There was a lot of action. You kind of pieced things together yourself, but there wasn't much dialogue. Um, I will say it was much better than Madam Web, which isn't saying much because Madam Web was horrible, in my opinion, of course. If you liked it, you liked it. But overall, I would give Craven a 5 out of 10. Yeah, I'd say a 5 out of 10. Madam Web got like a 2. Venom Venom Let There Be Carnage got like, I think that was also a 2. Um it was a fun movie. It was not as bad as I thought it would be. It was not as good as I hoped it would be. If you're just wanting to watch a movie, a mindless movie, go right ahead. If you like the comic character, do not go into this movie thinking you're going to see your comic character. I liked Aaron Taylor Johnson as Craven. I did not like Aaron Taylor Johnson as Craven in this movie. It didn't feel like a Craven movie to me, but that's all. I'm going to have an actual episode where we discuss and we get to the nitty gritty of the whole movie. But right now it is 1 a.m. I'm so tired. Um, Thanks for sticking with me. If you watched the movie, let me know in the comments what you thought. If you didn't watch the movie, let me know in the comments why you're watching a review video for it. If you have plans to watch it, I wish you all the best. If you don't have plans to watch it, totally get it. 100% get it. It's just a little Sony gaslighting, you know. I had fun with it, but it's a Sony movie, you know. It. What do you expect? Hopefully, this is the last Sony Marvel movie. I think we've all been through enough here. They have bled these characters dry for so long, and I really do think they're squeezing as much money out of the characters before they lose the rights. Because there's no reason as to why these movies have to be so bad or they have to not care as much about these movies. Like put some effort into it. The actors are putting all the effort they can into it. Why aren't you? I could stay here and talk about this forever. Maybe another day I'll make a video about it. I don't know yet. If you have stayed with me this long in this video, thank you. This is my first review video and I really don't know how to do it. But I really wanted to tell you guys my thoughts. Okay. I'm going to go to bed now. Have a marvelous night.